Hi folks, so I decided to film with my cell phone today. I hope it turns out good. I don't have a stabilizer thing set up for this one, but we'll see how it goes. Today I am cutting a 3D profile, and this is the first time I've done it. I correct myself, this is the first type of part that I've made with this. I've actually have several failed attempts over here and a couple of successes already. So here's the first one I did, where I decided to go a different way, but I left all this extra, and I was going to cut that off on the table saw, but then I discovered that that's probably going to be difficult. So I decided to trim them down from a 4x4, which is of course 3.5 inches square, down to 3 inches square, and then cut these on the machine. But I had a number of problems. I was losing steps. That was the biggest thing. I also had a little bit of I had a bolt head. The bolt head that holds my dust collector. It holds this plastic plate to this extrusion here on the bottom, and I was using just a socket head. So I changed those out to button heads just for good measure. So that's what that was from. I was also losing steps because this thing is quite a bit narrower than it should be. It's about 1/4 inch narrower, so it was losing steps somewhere. Most obviously on the roughing pass, it was just a nightmare. The finishing pass is still pretty bad though. But eventually that seems to have corrected itself. Well, I should correct that. I changed a number of things, and I'm not exactly sure what was the thing that did it, but this is the first kind of success that I had. There's still a bit in down here on one of the final roughing passes. Of course, the roughing passes come down and then do this. They cut around, and then they go down again, and then do another kind of in levels in the Z. And then when they got down to the bottom, it cut in a little bit more, but after the finishing pass, it turned out okay, and I can deal with that. I'm going to fill this in. For this project, all these are getting painted anyway, so I can fill that in, which I'm going to have to do anyway, because here's the second sort of success, which I haven't sanded yet, but you know, it kind of chips out. This software, I'm using Cut 3D from Vectric, and it doesn't seem to really understand about grain. You can't change the direction of the cut on the roughing pass. The finishing pass is what it is. When you're only taking off a few thousandths at a time, it's not a big deal, but those roughing passes, I think they could do with a little bit of better control. So this one I haven't sanded yet like I have this one, and you can see the steps. I did about 25 thousandths per step on the finish pass, which is going to be just fine for this wood. There's another bite out of it down there. So I just wanted to show that this one has had the roughing pass completed. Let me get my hose out of the way there. So as you can tell, it is rough, but all that material's gone, and now I'm going to run the finishing pass, and that'll make it look all nice and pretty. So my roughing pass I'm doing with a 1/2 inch ball end mill, and then my finishing pass I decided to just go with a square end 1/4 inch. I just have to be careful to tease out the shaft in the fitting there, which is, if I was cutting something hard, it might be a concern, but it seems to be working okay for me. And then this is fairly proud of myself for this. Just some walls to keep the chips from flying, because of course the dust shoe is largely useless for this high Z sort of type of cutting. So anyway, that's where we're at. Thanks.